Hi everyone, hope you're all staying safe and well. Bernard here, welcome to my Citizen channel. We look back at a game at the Etihad, of course. Manchester City 2, West Ham United, not forever blowing bubbles, just the one. So Manchester City 2, West Ham 1, 27th February 2021. 12:30 p.m. kickoff, so a nice early kickoff. And I did say in the preview, it's weird, isn't it? I used to sort of start worrying and panicking about sort of getting there if I was working and what time I'd be able to get there. But now it's all too easy, isn't it? Just roll home, have your shower, and then just turn your computer and the telly on, and you're sorted, aren't you? It's very strange indeed. Yeah, of course, we'll have our match analysis today, including the player ratings, of course, with Mr. Bukowski's ratings and my own ratings. We'll have the quirky stats. There's a few of those today. There's a couple of records, sort of records broken, etc. But we keep doing that, don't we? Yeah, conclusions on West Ham as well. I thought we'll have a little chat about West Ham and what they're going to do going forward, and a little chat about what happened with City today. So I'll get through the game, and then we'll have a little talk about Pep's team selection and stuff like that. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the notification button. I try and inform and entertain on these, of course, and as you know, I do City history stuff and City quizzes and lots of stuff, so check the playlist there. And you'll also see stuff on film and TV. If you're interested in that, have a look at that as well. But if you're not, don't worry about it. There's loads of football stuff, as you know. But obviously the TV channel, I do movie reviews, TV drama reviews, information vlogs, poster versus, oh, my things are falling down. Poster versus, what's better, the poster or the film battles and stuff like that from films from the past and all that sort of thing. So please have a look at that if you're interested, or if you know someone who might be. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season, by the end of May, and we're just about approaching 750 now, in the 740s. So please, any support you can give me will be fantastic, and anyone you can point in my direction will be great. And there's also a couple of links on there for Facebook and Twitter as well, so please check and follow them. All comments are welcome on today's game, or anything you want to talk about City. And we've got a few guys having sort of have a bit of a mini chat now on these comments, so all comments welcome. And always thumbs up. If you like what you see, please give us a little thumbs up. Right, let's get on with this game. Right, yeah, the starting 11, seven changes to the Borussia Mönchengladbach. You know me and my changes. Once we get over 5, I start to panic just a little bit. That not that we haven't got quality coming in, just because the flow and the actual teamwork, if you like. I mean, 7's quite a lot to make, and so it means you're bringing in players that perhaps haven't been playing as much, or you're bringing in players who've been injured, and it's gonna sort of wreck the flow of the game. Even though, obviously, say you've got to do this sort of things when you've got 2 or 3 games between games, and certainly we've just been over in Budapest, haven't we? So I can understand the logic of what Pep's doing, but I think, again, you know, I'll talk about him at the end of the conclusion. But is he thinking a bit too hard about this? I think five at maximum is probably doable, but I do worry a little bit when he makes 7, even though we've got them almost full squad. It just stopped the flow, doesn't it? So we had Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Zinchenko, Fernandinho's captain, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Torres and Aguero. On the bench we had Stefan, Sterling, Jesus, Laporte, Rodrigo, Bernardo, Mendy, Cancelo and Foden. Wouldn't have been a bad game, that, would it? Bench against the starting 11. Yeah, I got 8 right, so I wasn't too disappointed with that on my little preview, so that was okay. Pre-match social media talk. There's obviously a lot of positivity of Sergio coming back. I didn't particularly agree with him starting the game, but there's a lot of positivity out there. Tim Smallbone wrote, I'm beginning to think he just picks the team completely at random. Yeah, that's quite funny there. A little bit tongue-in-cheek from Tim there. The ginger wig. I hope that new lad up front is better than Barry Conlon. Well, I think he is, yeah. Probably not today, but generally, yes, he is probably better. Stephen McInerney. I do have a feeling today may be quite difficult. Yeah, absolutely, mate. You were spot on there. I mean, as I say, it's one of the toughest games perhaps you could think of, certainly coming back from abroad, and they've had obviously a few, 2 or 3 more days rest as well. So let's face it, they are the informed team, and we certainly learnt that, didn't we, when we, obviously people were telling us that before the game. Yeah, so the match summation and stats, first 45 minutes, 6 minutes, a sloppy City at times throughout the game, but we saw early signs of that when Edison sold what we used to call a hospital pass in the old days to Fernandinho. He did get fouled, but he managed to clear it as well, all credit to Fernandinho. But yeah, I mean, that was a little bit sloppy from Edison. He did have a good game today. Don't get me wrong, but that sort of was throughout the team. Certainly in the first half, a lot of sloppiness was going on. 19 minutes, a great chance for West Ham was blocked. 30 minutes, of course, we scored the goal. From nothing really, wasn't it? We hadn't really peppered the goal of 30 minutes without any real chances. And then, obviously, KDB just swings it in with his left foot, doesn't he? Eloquently, he doesn't always need to use his right. He misses Stones out, of course. He was going for that, but what a header by Diaz, fantastic. And Randolph got a hand to it, but he couldn't do anything. And again, they must be listening to me, these guys. I did say a couple of games ago, get these strikes and these defenders learning how to head the ball on targets. If it's on target, the goalie has to make a save. If he's not good enough to make the save, it's a goal. It's as simple as that. So fantastic. That was 1-0. 31 minutes, Torres had a great shot. It was on target, so I'm not going to slag him off, but straight at Randolph, wasn't it, from about 26 yards after breaking through. 33 minutes, Randolph was quickly off his line to deny Mahrez once he was put through. I think it was by Walker, long ball, and I thought he was just going to get there in front of the keeper, but he beat Mahrez to it. Perhaps someone a little bit quicker might have got there first, but well done to Randolph there, although he had a bit of trouble later on, didn't he? 39 minutes, a great chance for West Ham, but Antonio, of course, glanced the post. I thought that was him. I must admit, when I saw it, and it wasn't the first sort of half chance, if you like. He sort of seemed to not play that final ball quite right, but they had a great chance. And then 43 minutes ago, we had the warning, didn't we? And some sloppy play by City near the halfway line. And we got caught again. We looked as though we were outnumbered at the back. It looks like the old City, the old defence, where we're a bit rickety at the back. And of course, Antonio finished off a fantastic deserved equaliser, and he was well onside. There was no doubt about that. But it looked a bit like the old City defence. That we just seem to get caught outnumbered a little bit. Or we've got numbers back, but they're all in the wrong place, unfortunately. So there you go, half time, 1-1. Not great. We're struggling. I did write down here, West Ham are excellent. Don't look as solid. We don't look as solid along the back. We've not really worried them apart from the goal, and we need to improve vastly. We're just not being good enough at the moment. So that was sort of my little half-time thoughts. Into the second half, 58 minutes, KDB broke clear, fantastic. He did everything right. I thought, Sergio's in the box there. He'll find the right spot, but obviously it just zipped across the 6-yard box with no one quite getting that final touch. So that was a little bit disappointing. 61 minutes, Aguero was off, Jesus on. 65 minutes, Torres was off, Foden was on. 68 minutes, 2-1. Great work. Great work in and around the box. Mahrez did everything right. Found Walker, and he just placed it back to John Stones, and he just passed it quite hard into the goal. I thought it was fantastic by John Stones. Whether the keeper was a little bit unsighted, I wasn't overly sure. But so that's Diaz. That's our centre-half partnership scoring the goals. What more can we ask? Well, a couple of strikers would be nice, wouldn't it? 89 minutes, they say that West Ham didn't really offer that much in the second half as much as they did in the first. It didn't worry me as much in the second half, or we were a bit more organised. Most of their little things came from, obviously Lingard was running the thing for them, and most of their chances seemed to be just from free kicks in and around the halfway line. But so we were quite cool. 89 minutes, Rodri on, Gundo off. 4 minutes injury time. Looked okay. Looked as though we could get through without any near misses, didn't we? Ferner was booked unnecessarily, in my opinion. He didn't really need to foul over there on the far touchline, and from the resulting free kick. Obviously, there was a couple of plays and it went back out, and it just it was a cross in one. And Stones, it sort of beat Stones. This is the 94th minute now. It beat Stones, and Diop just heads across. Now, as I said, I think the commentator said he was probably mixed whether to head for goal or head as a pass, and I think he was stuck between the two. I think Edison had it covered, but obviously the West Ham player was coming in at the back as well, wasn't he? But fortunately, as our hearts beat a little faster, it sort of went wide of the post, didn't it? So we hung on, and there wasn't much else after that. So full time, 2-1 win for City. Ref watch. I don't think he gives out. He doesn't give anyone. There's at least 3 fouls I spotted that I just can't understand why Oliver didn't give them. I think we should have had a corner early doors, and I think he said it come off Zinchenko in the corner, but I'm fairly sure it didn't. But we didn't see any replays of that. But I wasn't happy with Oliver. I'm not happy with him, as you can see from his colours that he wears. But I'll give him 5 out of 10. My starting mark's 6. I'm only going to give him 5 out of 10 because he was pretty rubbish. Match stats: 10 by City, 9 by shots, 10 by City, 9 by West Ham. On target, we had 3 each, so yeah, all credit to West Ham. They say it was a close game, as you can tell by the score, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Possession 64% for City, so just 36 for West Ham. Passes 668 for City, 384 for West Ham. Completion rate 89% by City. I was surprised by that because I thought we were quite sloppy. I thought it'd be in the middle 80s, to be honest with you. So yeah, 89% and 80% for West Ham, which is pretty good actually. Yeah, that's not bad for an opposing team. Corners 4 for City, 2 for West Ham. No real danger was there for either team really. Fouls 8 by City, 11 by West Ham. And on to the player ratings. I'll give you Simon Bukowski's scores first, and then I'll add my score and my little views. My starting score today is only going to be a 6. It's going to be a bog standard 6. We won the game, job done, but nothing to get excited about as a team performance. We worked hard, and certain players didn't turn up properly, but other players did. So my starting score 6. So if I think a player did better than that, he'll score higher. If I think he did okay, he'll get 6. And if I think he was pretty rubbish, he'll get lower. And there's 2 or 3 today, I think, are getting less than 6. Right, here we go. Yeah, Ederson couldn't do anything with the goal, but played well otherwise. Reacting quickly to the dangers that his team exposed him to. Yeah, say apart from that early hospital pass, and obviously I think there was another poor pass out in the second half where he sort of just hit the West Ham player on the halfway line, which could have been dangerous. I thought he played very well. He came for the crosses. He was confident. And that's what we want against that's what your defenders want from a goalkeeper. So Simon's giving 7, so I'm going to give him 7 as well for that. I think overall he was solid at the back, and you can like any player, you can allow 1 or 2 slight mishaps, and we got away with it. So yeah, I'll give him a 7. Simon, give him a 7. Walker, plenty of strong runs forward and willing to take on a shot, but also contributed to a sloppy performance at the back with too many loose passes. Yeah, he's given him a 7 though, Simon. He's very generous today. I've just given him the standard 6. Yeah, going forward, he never looks as though he's going to supply that killer cross that other players perhaps can who play in that position. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 because he wasn't that bad. As a couple of times, his pace helped out. There's a couple of times his pace let him down. But yeah, I'll give him 6. Simon, give him 7. John Stones, a Barnsley Beckenbauer turned into a Barnsley Balotelli with a wonderfully cool finish to restore City's lead. This lad isn't bad at defending either. So let's give him an 8. I can't disagree with that. I will give him an 8 as well, which is, I can tell you now, will be my highest score of the day. Apart from that miss he did in the last seconds, where it was just a great ball in. I mean, at the end of the day, he can't always be in the right place at the right time. He was superb all game, I thought. Diaz showed he should be the front runner for Player of the Year with his usual defensive excellence. Yeah, okay. And also added, if he is, and I think Stones as well, and also added a goal that has been itching for since joining. So that's his first goal, I think, wasn't it? Yeah. So he's given him an 8, Simon. I give him 7.5. I don't think he's quite as good as John Stones, but yeah, he's not quite as good. That doesn't mean he's bad, does it? That just means he had a pretty solid game. So I'll give him a 7.5. Zinchenko started off playing like De Bruyne, which was especially useful. I think the commentator called him De Bruyne a couple of times because De Bruyne didn't look anything like De Bruyne. He didn't. Did he look like Zinchenko? No, don't be mean. Caught out for a goal though and needlessly gave the ball in the second half. So give him a 6. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 6. Again, Zinchenko was okay. I say he certainly wasn't the worst of City's players today, but he was a bit in and out for me. So I'll give him a 6, and Simon give him a 6. Fernandinho, a mixed bag. He was good in parts, patrolling the central space, but also had his pocket picked by an impressive West Ham side more than he would like, and his sloppy passing as well. Simon still give him a 6. I'm going to give him 5.5. I thought that was one of his worst displays, and I've seen them displays not too often for City. I have seen 1 or 2 for Brazil, and obviously he's been panned a little bit by Brazilian fans in the past, hasn't he? And it did reminisce of certainly that game where they got slaughtered. I can't remember who it was against now, but yeah, he's okay. For every good thing, you did some good things. Don't get me wrong, but for every one good thing, you did a couple of sloppy things. You either passed sloppily or lost the ball. And as I say, that booking at the end was needless as well. There's no need for it. But so that was one of his worst displays, and he's been brilliant, I think, so far this season. When he's had to, when we've asked him to do the job, he has done. But yeah, I'm just going to give him 5.5, and Simon give him 7. I'm not going to be kind, to be honest with you. I thought he was poor. Gundogan, More of the unheralded Bernardo role for Gundogan today. Well, not really. I mean, he was nothing like Bernardo. I mean, at least he runs around and gets some tackles in. He wasn't as involved in the box, but did a lot of good work quietly to keep shuttling the ball for his teammates. Yeah, Simon again to give him a 7. I've just given him a 6. I'm going to back to his average. I mean, KDB's the main man now, so he's sort of gone back to his average. And in defence, he's rubbish. He got caught the wrong side a couple of times with the West Ham players, and it was just back to an okay game for me. I get back to we've lost the Gundalorian at the moment. Whilst KDB plays, I think we always more or less will. To be honest with you, KDB played like a drain for pretty much the whole game, apart from when he put in a world-class cross for the first goal and half the length of the pitch to almost set up a second. Yeah, that was a good break. I sort of almost forgot about that when I gave him his rating, but that was 2 things, and there must have been 14, 15 things he didn't do very well. He did run around a lot. At least he made the effort in midfield, but we got a little bit swamped. West Ham were far superior in the middle. He did get the assist. So, yeah, Simon's given him a 5. Yeah, I'm only going to give him 5 as well. I thought he was, I'd say it's only a point down on the average. I mean, it looks bad, doesn't it? But don't forget, we're starting at 6, so it's not a total disaster, but he would have got less if it hadn't been for the assist, to be honest with you. I just thought it was pretty, not his fault. He's getting back to the speed of the game, but not much came off today. Mahrez kept relatively quiet by Johnson, unable to replicate his output in recent outings so much of the contest, but stepped up again when it mattered to provide the second goal. Well, sort of. Yes, 7 for Mahrez. I've given him a 6.5. At least 1 or 2 things came from him, so that's not too bad, is it? So yeah, I'm giving him a 6.5, better than average. I thought it was okay, not great. Simon gave him a 7. Torres guilty of failing to track back. For a goal, but a thankless task to come into the side, not his natural side, and he expected to dribble in a goal on his own. Yeah, I mean, he was asked a lot. I've given him a 6. I've given the bog standard 6. Simon's given him a 6. I just thought it was a strange choice for such a team like West Ham who were in. I could understand it because I was panicking as to where Pep's going to play. When's Pep's going to play Torres? But was this the right game? I'm not too sure. And on that basis, I'm looking at Aguero now, aren't we? Looked slim and fit, but unfortunately also looked rusty and short of service, missing from the 6-yard box in the second half as De Bruyne put the ball in. Yeah, he's give Aguero 5, Simon. Yeah, I'll give him 5.5. I've not been overly cruel, but we know he needs time. I wouldn't have started Aguero in a month for Sundays today. I would have kept him on the bench again, to be honest with him, brought him on. But it was just like playing with 10 men, to be honest with you. It's just like playing with no striker because he wasn't really closing down as much, and he just didn't have a real effect. So there you go, 5 from Simon, 5.5 from me. Substitute Jesus for Aguero on 61 minutes, offered more than Aguero and pushed up well. He's given him a 7, Simon. Yeah, I'll give him a standard 6. It was okay. Foden for Torres, 65 minutes, a left foot on the left wing, unsurprisingly made more headway. Yeah, he's given him a 7, Simon. Again, he's very kind with his scores. I've just given him a bog standard 6. I don't usually give subs more than the standard anyway, unless they've done something really, really special. And Rodri for Gundogan was too late to mark, really, wasn't it? 88 minutes. Quirky stats, yeah, the game up to Joe. Antonio is the first West Ham player to score home and away against Manchester City in a league season since Ian Dowie in 1995-1996. Oh, Ian Dowie, hey, good company. No player has more Premier League assists this season than Kevin De Bruyne at 11. There you go. So you can have a bad game, we'll still do something, can't you? Manchester City have conceded their first Premier League goal at the Etihad since the 15th of December. I was there against West Brom, ending their run of 629 minutes without conceding on home soil in the competition. Gutted. Stat City Pep is unbeaten in his 10 matches against West Ham. He's now unbeaten in 11 matches, won 10 and drawn 1, and has only had a better run against Burnley, won 12, drawn 1. So there you go. Ruben Diaz is the same kits as well. It must be the colour of the kit. So if every team can play in that colour kit, we're sorted, aren't we, for the next few years if he stays, which he won't. Ruben Diaz is the 105th different player to score a competitive goal for City at the Etihad Stadium. City have now won 20 matches in a row for the first time in the club's history. Record breakers. John Stones has now scored 9 goals for City in all competitions, drawing a level with the amount Eyal Berkovic and Julian Lescott netted for the club. Well done, John. Fantastic. Everybody needs John Stones in the middle, don't we? Number 5. No Premier League defender has scored more goals in all competitions this season than John Stones, 4, with all 4 of his strikes coming in 2021. In what was just his 273rd game in charge of City, Pep Guardiola picked up his 200th victory, the fewest games needed by a manager of an English top-flight side to reach 200 wins in all competitions. Well done. He beats, obviously, Mr. Moaning Mooring at Chelsea into second place with 309 it took him, so not bad going, not too shabby. Manchester City's victory against West Ham saw Pep pick up his 500th victory in charge of a top-flight side in all competitions. Barcelona 179, Bayern Munich 121, and Manchester City 200. Well done, Pep. There you go. No headlines today. It's far too early for the papers. I usually do these reports, obviously, with nights and afternoons kickoffs the following day. But I thought I'd get this out tonight. So no real headlines, but probably make interesting reading, won't it? But conclusions, yeah. Let's have a look. Conclusions. West Ham. Yeah, he's doing a good job, David Moyes. I mean, no matter what you say about it, he's doing a good job. Like Mönchengladbach, perhaps in the week, the final thinking and the final ball perhaps wasn't quite right sometimes. We could have been punished one or two times. They say they did have opportunities, but there's a couple of times where they just made that little error, judgment error, if you like, in that final pass. And even Lingard, who I thought was excellent today. Can't stand the bloke. I hate him. I think I've said that in the preview. I can't. But as a footballer today, he was excellent. All credit to him. And even he made sort of one or two sort of iffy things, even though he did most things right. But hard work ethic, so well organised, so we didn't really have the sort of players to dribble past, did we? Obviously Mahrez is an option, but we didn't really have the pace to get past any. I mean, I know, well, probably Sterling would have just run into him anyway, but yeah, I mean, if you think of Bernardo and obviously Foden perhaps on a bit earlier to start from the start as well. But yeah, they work very, very hard. You can see why they've got the sort of, they're in form and they're not fourth in the table because they're rubbish. They've been playing really, really well, and confidence would have been high. And I would argue that they probably deserved a point today. I think credit. I think most West Ham fans will wonder how they didn't get a point out of that game. They deserved at least a point on that first half, especially. Probably could have been ahead. But because they made us look like our early season or parts of last season selves at the back, didn't they? We looked a bit, even though we sort of had some numbers there, we all seem to be pulled to one side and left West Ham players on the other, at the back, unmarked, etc., which caused more problems, allowed them to get crosses into the box. So all credit to them. I mean, they will. I think. Top 6 is definitely possible. Would they get top 4? Absolutely no reason why not. If they can keep up this sort of form, they've got some big games coming up. It'd be nice if they can go to Old Trafford and get something there, won't it? That'll be especially nice. But yeah, it's quite impressed. And quite, as I said, Moyes wasn't a bad manager at Everton. He was absolutely the chosen one. Wasn't very chosen at the other place he went, but yeah, he's not a bad manager. He's got some good players there as well, and he's got a team that does work. And as I say, just a little bit more canny in front of goal, perhaps. And they can do better, and they certainly could have beat us today, to be honest with you. Yeah, Pep. Yeah, let's get on to Pep and City. Well done, West Ham, anyway. All credit to him. That's one of the better teams that visited the Etihad this season, that's for sure. Pep, yeah, is he overthinking things again? I mean, he's obviously, we've got excuses. Of course we have. We've got excuses. We've just come back from Budapest and, yeah, but 7 changes? Did he really need to make 7 changes? Is he making some sort of point? I do worry sometimes because he's been absolutely fantastic. And you know me, I mean, I was quite not dead critical, but I wasn't happy at the start of the season, certainly until he signed his new contract. I thought obviously he'd gone all a bit weird, but obviously a fallout from his mum dying and stuff like this. You could expect that sort of thing. But he's been back on point, hasn't he? But 7. Do you really need to make 7 changes? 5 at a maximum, because it does ruin the flow of the game. And Aguero, I wouldn't have started him in a month of Sundays, to be honest with you. We all know he needs time to come back. So why not? And we haven't got any sort of lower league teams to play in a cup competition where you could sort of, stick him on from the start. We've got big game. Wolves at home's another toughie. United at home's going to be another toughie. I wouldn't have started. I would have had him coming in off the bench, to be honest with you. But again, he would have been, he still needs time to do that as well. Yeah, and KDB's back, isn't he? He didn't have the greatest game today, but that means Gundogan's playing deeper, and he's absolutely no use defensively, Gundogan. Let's be honest about it. He gets caught the wrong side of players, and he gives up. He does give up. One or two City players were guilty of that today. I think KDB gives up far too easily. They don't chase back if they don't get it back straight away. They just sort of give up and watch the player move on. And I think Gundogan's the same. And now playing that deeper role, he was just pretty ineffective today because of KDB's return, basically. So, yeah, and that's it. I think the midfield outplayed us. Werner wasn't at his best. Obviously, he was sometimes some of the errors he made were unpressurised as well. He wasn't even, but he did some things really great as you'd expect. But as I say, it's a poor Brazilian performance. And that's why the Brazilian fans used to get on his back, because he did make these silly little errors. I watched him a couple of times for Brazil where you think, what's he done that for? Because it was needless. But yeah, I think we got away with it today, City, and it's great because we won, and that's the sign of champions, as they say, isn't it? We don't play very well, but we get the 3 points, and that's at the end of the day all that matters. But what is it? I mean, how many changes to that team's he going to make now against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and then with United coming up? I thought today he should have played his strongest team, perhaps allowing 2 or 3 players to have a rest. But 7 changes, in my opinion, was a little bit too much. We got away with it. We didn't look great in the first half against a very, very good team. But we got the 3 points, as I say, onwards and upwards. And I want to see a little bit more fizz around and about against. Well, I said that passing percentage was at 89%. I mean, that sort of completion rate really did surprise me. I thought we were going to be in the middle 80s at most, because we did sort of pass very sloppily at times. And a little bit more thought, of what we were doing. But as I say, all credit to West Ham. We did it. We got the 3 points. We've got Wolves to worry about now. And I think we need to play a strong side, the strongest side we can against Wolves, as long as everyone's fit. And then we need to play the strongest side we can against United. But we've got to start. Perhaps then we can. If we go 13 points clear and stay 13 or 14 points clear, yeah, then we can afford to lose 1 or 2 and perhaps rest a couple of players and lose. But as long as we don't lose to United, I don't care. Please, let's win that one. But let me know what you think. Anyway, I thought. Yeah, wonderful. I mean, Pep was fantastic. I mean, how can anyone say anything? 20 games on the trot. I mean, absolutely stunning. So, but at the end of the day, sometimes he can be a bit too clever, can't he? And I think he was a little bit that today. I think he took a chance today. He took he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't respect West Ham, but he took a little bit of a chance against them. I thought today. I thought this isn't the West Ham of last season. This is a totally different West Ham. So we got away with it a little bit, and Pep got away a little bit. And I'm sure he'll have a look now. We've got another 3 home games, so we're not doing any travelling. So the players should be up for it and refreshed, shouldn't they? I mean, there's seven players got changed today, so they should be refreshed anyway, shouldn't they? Anyway. I'll be back with a preview of that Wolves game, of course. It takes place on Tuesday, March the 2nd. Is it March the 2nd? Yeah, 8 p.m. kickoff, I think. So I'll be back with a preview of that and a history thing of the couple of past games we played against Wolves as well. So please look out for that. Push that notification button if you've not done so already. And please check out my recent Citizen Channel vlogs included. That was the week that was, of course, for the Arsenal and Mönchengladbach game. A little quiz, 21 questions on the games and general knowledge of the 2 teams we played, etc, etc. So please check that out. Spot the balls and who's the guest the player and stuff like that. And of course, I've done a little I recorded it back in May, actually, May 2020, so it's almost, about 10 months old now, but I did a lot of recording when the COVID first hit, and it's just a personal look back at the 76 League Cup final against Newcastle with some personal thoughts on the game and a couple of questions on things to see how well you know it, so please check that out. The 1976 League Cup final against Newcastle, of course, sort of moment in time vlog that I did, so please check that out and please check out all the stuff on my playlist. Anyway, thanks for joining me for this big match analysis. Manchester City 2, West Ham United 1, and we go 13 points clear as I'm doing this. How long we'll stay 13 points clear? It doesn't matter as long as we keep winning. It doesn't matter, does it? As long as we keep winning, it's all ours, so that's all that matters. So thanks for joining me anyway for this big match analysis. Whatever you do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps you have a flit across and have a look at my film and TV channel. All I ever ask of you is please stay safe, Blues. Thanks for watching. Come on, City. Bye for now.